Old school caddy with a diamond in the back. Gator boots. With the pimped out Gucci shoes. Hello, everyone. Oh, Mickey, Jasmine, hello, hello. Welcome in. Gracias. Why am I struggling? Oh, let me clean my glasses. Because while I can see, it's a fuzzy. I just wanted to start a little early so people can join the room. For those of you who are hashtag replay gang, please check the description box below so you can skip around. I'm in Minnesota and it is cold, but I'm in the summer dress like it's, not cold. Let's see. What is the weather? Well, the weather is, it's back to snowing. 31 degrees, winter advisory. It's going to snow until heavy snow forecasted for the next hour. And then this is the scary part. This morning, like at 1, it's supposed to start like raining. And then if it freezes, girl, you slipping and sliding. I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. Hey. Oh, welcome. Glad you caught it. Hello, Joy. Oh, I'm so happy. Be careful out there, Yazza. I don't know where you're at, but if you're in the Midwest, be careful because them roads are real slippery. Oh, yes. Oh, girl, be careful tomorrow. Okay, let's preppity doodah for these couples and their shenanigans. What are we? Toe? Okay, this is called Gutted. I'm gonna tell you right now, Pattiya has some bloody nerve. She has all the audacity. Every single second. The audacity. They canceled school, so I won't be going anywhere except maybe the gym if the roads are plowed. Oh, I'm happy for you that they canceled school. I might cancel myself out of work. I just might. The truth is that I can work from home. I don't need to be there, but as someone, there's other people who are salaried who are going in, and so I guess to like have solidarity, they would want HR to be there. But I'm like, why put everyone in danger? Especially this Californian. Like it's not like I can't work from home. I can. It's just that I'm a Californian and I should not be trusted on wintry roads. Don't trust me on a winter road. So I wrote down in my notes, I feel her with the overly communicating with mama. Oh, you wrote down your notes. I love that you have notes. Oh, unfortunately, school is for my daughter. I still have to work from home. Oh, I thought you were like a teacher or something. Oh, okay. Let's give it until 5 minutes. Well, no, let's give them a couple more minutes. Let's give them a couple more minutes to come into the room. And then we'll get the Poor Distorted. Oh, did I download all the pictures that I had? Yes. I didn't take any pictures for this show. But our season series premiere, I took pictures. Anyways, I hope everybody's safe out there and having a good day. 16 people in the room. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, you guys. I appreciate you. We'll get started at 6:05. Right now it's 6:02. Don't worry about it, Jasmine. You're good. You're good. "20 people in the room. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up." Oh, what is this? Wait a minute. I can do a teleprompter? Wait a minute. I can. And it's on the screen. I wrote, "Wait a minute," and it's on the screen. Wow. 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 This is getting fancy. A teleprompter. I love that for me. So if I wanted to jot down some notes and let it read across the screen without you being able to see it, I could do so. I want to put a backdrop, but they don't have any Christmas backdrops. Or like winter ones. There's still Halloween ones, but that's silly. Look at this festive border. Where's the new ones? Hmm. Hey Dedria, how you doing, girl? Oh, I need a tissue. I'll be back. Oh, it's 6:05. Great. Just kidding. I went past my time. Let me get a thingy and then I'll be right back. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated. Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 14, Gutted. My name is Wah. I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, Love is Blind, and other shows like that. So if you are all interested in that content, please go on ahead and subscribe to my channel. Share this video on any social media platform that you deem fit. Also, if you get the hee ha-has while watching this and you want to give your girl a tip, you can do so with the options down below. Someone did give me a tip last time, so let me thank them. Who was it? It was, come on, Cash App. Here we go. There you go. You can do it. Jasmine, thank you so much. Angela, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. So, as you know, we are wont to do, let's start with our first couple, and that is Anthony and Manon. All right. I'm off the Manon train. I'm off the train. I cannot defend her week after week after I see this behavior. Listen, I took the personality test and I told you guys that I am a blue red, which means that I'm a leader, but also like I lead with emotions, which they say is dangerous, but like, okay, I'll accept that. I'm somebody who will always accept being wrong, and I will always accept how I make somebody feel. Manon is a full red. She's a red, 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 red. This man is telling her how he's feeling, and the only thing she can think of is how he is holding her back from being her best self. And if that is what you think about your partner, then you should leave that situation. It is I mean, I know that it went very quickly. Like last week I was still like, "Oh, he was a mime. What if your man was Batman on Hollywood Boulevard? How would you feel?" Right? This time though, I can't be on her side. So they're in the car. And he has yet another surprise for her. This is now the third episode in a row where there's a bloody surprise, and we know that the surprise is most likely not going to go well. Okay, we know it's not going to go well. So apparently they fought earlier because they were at some little store, and she wanted to buy some seashell earrings, and he is like, I don't want her to keep buying stuff. She didn't have her wallet, so she turns to her man and she's like, "Hey, my man, do you have your wallet so that you can purchase these seashell earrings for me?" And he says, "No, I don't." And then on a way out, like a petty Betty, he's like, "Look at my wallet. I lied to you." And she gets pissed. Now he admits that he was being childish and he did that. I mean, it to me, that's fighting behavior. He knows his woman, and I don't know why he keeps trying to behave in ways that he feels will one up her. Nothing is going to get Manon to believe that she is in the wrong. Unfortunately, due to her childhood trauma, it's going to take her a lot to admit that she's wrong. Not to say that her childhood trauma isn't traumatic and didn't cause this, upbringing, but because she was told she was wrong all her life, she has now just been like, well, I'm not wrong anymore. I'm not going to take that anymore. And so he was stupid for doing what he did. Now, she then in the car turns to him and is like, if you had just said to me that you didn't want me to buy that, you wanted me to save money, then I would have listened to you. And we full know that that is a lie. That is an absolute lie. If he had told her, Manon, I'm not giving you my wallet because I don't want you to buy that because you're spending money unnecessarily on things, she would have fought him on that. And in this car, she swirls the spit around in her mouth to tell this man that she would have listened to him. And we all know that that's a lie because we've seen her get mad at him for less. Could you imagine a scenario in which he says to her, Manon, you can't have the $20 earrings because you're spending too much money? I would be mad at that. What do you mean $20? Like, if we don't got $20, then like we shouldn't be doing anything. If we don't got $20 to spend on some seashell earrings, then I need to stay in the house. Right? So she's like, man, Anthony, I'm not going to spend money on all these things. I don't think you trust me. And so there's also another bit where she's like, oh, I like being in this area because now they're on their own, right? They finally get some alone time. Well, I say finally, but they've had alone time this whole time except for the mime situation. So now they're alone. And she's like, I like this part because they're open on Sundays. This is one of the only places in Versailles, that they're open on Sundays. So I can get my nails done. And he's like, I can do your nails for you. And she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, so we could save money. Now, at that point, just go ahead and get you some press-ons. Because what is not going to happen is my husband's not going to paint my nails. That's what's not going to happen. Because you are not a manicurist. You did not go to beauty school. You don't know how to clip my things, my cuticles. You don't know how to do proper nail maintenance. It's not just painting the nails, sir. It's a pampering. You're paying for the pampering service. No, you can't do this for me. And she's just like, oh God, you want me to just save money by doing this, and that's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, that is crazy. So at this point, Anthony is really trying to kibosh her spending. And listen, I get that because I'm somebody who compulsionary. I will, if I am on my way to sleep, I will buy something and then in the morning be like, why did I buy that? But it was because I was like half asleep. And I'm like, I want anything. Buy, purchase. And with Apple Pay, oh my God. If there's an Apple Pay button in any cart, it's done. I don't have to go get my wallet and put in my number. Oh, I'm purchasing it. So I get it. But stopping her from getting her nails done and stopping her from buying a pair of earrings means that I think your money issues are a lot bigger than that. Does that make sense? I don't know how I'm saying that. It's like, if you can't I get it. Getting your nails done can cost upwards to $100. This is the first thing that goes when I'm trying to save money. I haven't got my nails done in forever. Is the first thing that goes. Because it can cost, mine is like 190 for mani pedi. That gotta go. If I need money, that's the first thing that goes. But a pair of $20 earrings, I don't know if that's make or break. So anyways, they're arguing and she's like, "Why do you paint me as this huge beach?" And I'm like, "Manon, because you are." Like, so I was with Manon when I thought she knew what she was doing, when I thought that she was acknowledging the fact that she might be feeling a certain way and behaving a certain way. Like, but when now it's all over her head and she's like, "How dare you tell me these things?" I'm like, "Girl, you are." Like, I was supporting you because if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But to not be able to acknowledge that you're a little bit of a bitch, that you're always upset, and she will run headfirst into a fight. She won't hold back. This woman will not pick her battles. She's going to fight Anthony every single time. And I'm pretty sure in front of Benjamin. So, right? So he's like, "You're my only support." She's my only support system. I've moved to a strange country by myself. My wife and I are constantly fighting. Like, this is not fun for me. And she's like, "You don't care about losing me. You don't care about saving us. You don't care about me." And I look at Anthony and I said, if this woman walks out of this situation believing that he doesn't care about her, then we are watching two different things. Unless he is so different when the cameras are off. But from what we're seeing, he's fighting for this relationship and she's fighting to be her. She's fighting to be who she wants to be, not who she needs to be in this relationship. And she's like, "If I copy me, I think, we should break up." And let me tell you right now, I know it's 90 Day Fiance, right? We're constantly watching it, but I really don't want to watch a couple slowly sink into divorce. Like, there has not been enough good for me to stand behind them, for me to think they're gonna get out of this. Okay. So they get to the hotel and she's pissed. They're both upset. They walk in and immediately she's like, "What the hell?" And then he's like, "Oh, okay, look at the jacuzzi." And she's like, "Well, there's no windows. That's the thing that's getting me." And he's like, "It's a love room and it's also soundproof." And she's like, "Oh." And I'm like, would I notice if I walked into a space that obviously looked like a sexy space, would I be like, "There's no windows, it's freaking me out"? She is really, I'm telling you, I'm ungrateful. And I've said it over and over. But I'm like, if I get to a point where everything my partner does pisses me off, regardless of how much I can tell that they really want to try to impress me, then I need to get out of it. I need to get out of it. And she's not getting out of it. And it's a little difficult for me to watch. So they get there. She's like, "Okay, Anthony, I guess you did okay. There's a jacuzzi in here." She's like, "That looks good." And she feels like she's wanting to not like it. And then we see a dancer pole, and that dancer pole, I'll tell you right now, is in a corner. And who's dancing on that pole in that corner? There's not enough space around it for any amount of movement. Also, why does he not have upper body strength? Why was he like? I just assume that every man has more upper body strength than me. And the fact that he couldn't just hold onto that pole and swing around just one time, he was like sliding. I was like, "Sir, I need you to do some upper body work before you embarrass us." So he puts on his uniform because she really enjoys a man in a uniform. And so then she starts to play along and be okay and happy. They get into the jacuzzi and they talk, and it feels like everything is okay. But at the end of the day, we all know and we all see them fight, and we don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want to see them fight. And I wonder if there's going to be a tell all in this episode so that Sean Robinson or someone can ask them questions. I wonder. I wonder. All right, that's it for them. Hi, Soraya. Hi, Angela. Welcome into the room. Oh my God. B honey, how is he not low-key gaslighting her all the time? Picking activities she has no interest in. Oh no, you're right. I think I was on her side up until this time. I was on her side because it's a full lie. She would have been mad at him if he tried to stop her from spending money. So, like, hey. So, like, yeah. I don't think he's gaslighting her. I just think he's trying to do things that he likes to. I don't know, girl. I don't know. But I was on her side up until this time. She gonna lie to him and us, girl. If you know you don't want somebody telling you what to do, then you know you don't want somebody telling you what to do, and just stick with that. He was petty for showing her absolutely his wallet. I would have been very upset too. I'm like, don't control me like that. Say what you feel, and if my answer upsets you, then we'll talk about that. But like, don't try to like trick me, because I'm not a child. I'm not a child. We're married. We share a account, don't we? Do we not? Anyways, let's move on to Pattiya and Dylan. Girl, Pattiya has the absolute audacity. So Pattiya and Joe, Dylan's mother, have gone to play tennis, and Dylan's mother whoops Pattiya. Now, Pattiya tried to wear that little knee brace, and I was like, "Oh, this is the first time I seen you in this knee brace, miss. You was on stage the episode 1 talking about I'm a dancer, I'm an exotic dancer. Now your knee broke." So she's on this court and she has no hand-eye coordination, and that's fair. A lot of people don't. I think that I do until I get on a court, and then I'm like, oh, I haven't done this in a while, and I absolutely do not have any coordination. There was a time when I did, but it's a skill set that one needs to practice. And Pattiya clearly does not practice that. So she's on the court and she's going back and forth with Joe. Joe ends up beating her. They sit down. They sit down and have a conversation where Joe is like, well, I'm glad that we're able to hang out together because I feel like, you and Dylan got off to a rocky start, and he did, tell me things about you. And Pattia's like, ugh. He told us that you didn't want him to live as close to me and his father as he does. And I just think that's horrible. And she's like, yeah, I didn't want that for privacy. I did say that, like, I was. And she's like, I just really had a lot of animosity and hated you for so long that at the time I just, didn't want him to have any connection with you guys or talk to you guys really all that often, because I wanted him. She didn't say this, but this is what she's thinking. I wanted him to pay attention to me. And then so mother's like, well, you got to stop your spending. She's like, I've stopped my spending. And mom's like, you say you stop your spending, but you haven't paid your debt off. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm almost 50, 60, no one better talk to me about my debt. It's already very embarrassing. It's already a hard pill to swallow. It 100% is. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna be on national TV, everybody talking about my debt. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I can't do it. It's embarrassing. And I can't do it. It's not gonna happen to me. I can't do it. Can't do it. And so for Dylan's mother to be so bold as to talk to her about her personal finances is wild. But also what is wild and even wilder to me is Pattia's insistence that Joe not talk to her own son, the son that she physically pushed out of her own body, but once or twice a week because Pattiya doesn't want her to. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I understand that there are people who don't have close relationships with whatever parent for whatever reason. But I would never tell that person to not talk to their parent as much. I would leave the relationship. Because I would mention it and I would be like, you're telling that person my business. I don't want that person to know my personal business. If you need to confide in somebody, you better confide. You better call some hotline and confide into some stranger. Like, do not tell our personal relationship business to someone who is then going to in turn talk to me about it. Because once that person then tries to talk to me about it, you and I are going to have to break up. Because I understand needing to talk to a close friend or someone about what's going on in your relationship. But I have left many a friend for telling me about the woes of their relationships and they just keep getting back with that same man. I can't do both. I cannot be the ear that listens to your nonsense and then watch you walk back into that relationship. The same way as if I was in a relationship and that person went and talked to somebody else and that somebody else came back and talked to me, I'm out. Like, let me have the illusion of privacy. Let me have the illusion of it. And so Joe is like, I don't think you're being reasonable. And she's like, oh, well, I do think it's reasonable. And Joe's like, well, listen, it's because you're afraid that I'm going to be in his ear telling him things to do, but that's not on me. That's on him. So you need to talk to Dylan because Dylan talks to me just as much as I want to talk to him. And I said, Joe, you're better than me because I would have cussed good old Pattiya out. Now I get it. Dylan is a grown man. Dylan's in his 40s, right? Is he? Or is he in his late 30s? Whatever it is, he's in his grown man and he's a grown man and he doesn't have any like delays. So there is no reason why she can't hold everything with Dylan. If Dylan does not want to talk to his mother or feels like his mother calls him too much or it's a problem, then that's Dylan to handle. It's not for her to now talk to Joe and tell Joe to back up. That is crazy. So when Joe's like, you still got that debt? And she's like, well, he caused it. And Joe's like, well, then you want him to sell one of his properties to pay it off. And she's like, yeah, because he caused it. And I think that Pattiya thinks that Dylan is a trick. I think that she thinks that Dylan is one of the men who comes into the club to pay her money. And that she can be like, hey, you need to pay off my debt. And Joe is like, no, I think it's silly for him to sell one of his properties. Now, this is where I'm like, Joe, that's none of your business. Because if the properties are co-owned by you or y'all have some like family trust or something and the properties are all under everybody's name in your family, that's one thing. Then you could just be like, I don't agree with you doing that. Like the living trust of our family name, such and such, you cannot sell this property. But it's not for Joe to tell Pattiya. It's for Dylan to tell Pattiya. No, it's not for Joe to have this. A lot of boundaries are being crossed here. So I think as much as Pattiya is wrong for asking Joe to back up, I think Joe is wrong for telling Pattiya that she's going to advise her son to not sell a property. Pattiya really feels like the reason why that they're not married is because of Joe. And I think to myself, well, you're again someone who cannot take responsibility for your own actions and own behaviors. The reason why you and Dylan are not married is because he does not want to take care of you and pull you out of debt. Because if you and him get married, you're just going to start spending. Listen, it's a disease. Spending is a disease. Like I just finished telling you guys, it is very difficult to stop when you are used to just being able to get whatever you want. You know how much time I have to talk to myself as I'm driving home from work? Like, no, you don't need to stop. You don't need to stop. Nope. You got food at home. You don't need to stop. Nope. You don't need to. Because guess what? You got all manner of items in the kitchen. I got stuff in this cabinet. And I know how to cook. I hate it, but I know how flavors work together. So I do not need to stop and get food. I don't need to. And I have to talk myself off the ledge. It's difficult. So the first step is admitting you have a problem. And the second step is doing the things necessary to not feed into said problem. And the moment she marries Dylan, she will spend that man's money. She will spend it because she has not admitted that she has a problem. So, anyways, they are being nasty nice to each other. And then Dylan comes and he picks her up. And he's like, you always have a nice guy. Bad accent. And they're like, yeah, we had a fun time. It's so much fun. Oh God, it's so fun. And then she gets into the car and she tells him that she had a conversation with his mother about the many times they talk a day. And Dylan was like, bitch. Did you talk to my mama and tell my mama that she shouldn't be talking? What? So, okay. And she's like, you talk to her too much. That's crazy. I get being a mama's boy when your mother's at their house all the time and doing whatever. She's like, I feel like if you call, I don't want him to answer. That's his parent. Like, what if Joe is calling for an emergency? That's his parent. and they're close to each other, and it doesn't feel like it is overdone. I mean, we've seen mama's boys, right? We've seen toxic relationships between parents and child. Theirs does not seem to be one. Pattia's, like Dylan says, Pattiya is not close to her mother, and so she just doesn't get it. And I'm like, I just can't. I am like, I don't agree with what she's saying. I don't agree with it at all. I think that, like, as long as their relationship isn't weird and toxic, and they may have a chat daily, and if he likes it and it doesn't interfere, the only part that interferes is that he tells his mother the business, which he should not do. He shouldn't do that. And so, they're in the car, they're arguing, and I like the way they argue too. No one's yelling at each other, no one's calling each other names. They're just like, she's like, you should respect me and respect my wishes, and I wish that you did not speak to your mother. And I'm like, that's a crazy request. And he's like, well, you should worry less about me talking to my mother and worry about your debt. And I said, Pattiya, pack your bags and go home, because him and his mama aren't gonna let you go about this debt. They're gonna turn you every which way but loose about this debt, girl. He not gonna pay it. You gonna have to get a job in what are they? Tarzana? Nope. Tanzania? Nope. Tasmania. You gonna have to get a job, girl. Because Dylan said he not gonna pay your bills. He not gonna pay your debt off. So you need to go. Because they're not gonna let you live through this, Pattiya. So pay your bills and shut up and stop blaming Dylan for it. He's not going to do it. And if he does, he's going to hold it against you for the rest of your life. So go on ahead and pack your bags and go home. He's like, you don't want my mother manipulating me because you want to manipulate me. And she's like, yeah. No, she didn't say that, but that's what she's thinking. You're worried about my mother. You need to be worried about your debt. And then she's like, well, I have a secret. I don't think Dylan's going to like it. I said, episode 14, and you're just telling us your secret? I know you didn't come in until episode 8, but dang. Dang. Now, I do have a question. Would she feel the same way, Pattiya, if Dylan were talking to his dad daily? You know what I mean? Is it because it's mother-son? Is it mother-son? Is that the drama? Because if he were talking to his dad daily, would she feel the same way? These are my questions. I'm just asking questions. There we go. Tasmania. I was like, Tanzania? Tanzania? Where are we? All right. Right. Because how you gonna tell me how much I talk to my mama? Babs. Sometimes I think Pattiya wants all the attention. Yeah. Yep. I think her being a dancer has changed and warped the way she thinks about men and their relationship to her. And I think that she's probably had a lot of her bills paid by men. And even in this relationship with someone she loves, she's still expecting him to pay for her. And I think it's reasonable to a certain extent. Like, let's say she were like, Dylan, I really need to get a job. So like, let's figure it out in Tasmania because I need to get a job so I can pay off my debt. So, and then he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, get a job. Let's figure it out. You pay off your debt. And like, what if all of her money from her job went to paying off her debt? And he just kind of floated her and took care of her and paid for certain things. You know what I mean? Until she figured, but I think she has to put some kind of effort and she's just not. Hey, just my 2 cents. Yeah, she has some nerve. You never say how you really feel about his relationship with mom. You just deal with it. Exactly. Or you leave. I'm going to keep it a buck. I think I would want a prenup now to say your debt before marriage is yours, not mine. Hey, Kate 31. Her debt becomes his debt. Yep, those 2 ladies are too close in age. Yeah. Hey, Marsha. How you doing, girl? Okay. Yeah, girl. 50 people in the room. Hey, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, please. If you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on to the annoying couple. That's Chloe and Johny. Girl, so these two fools go to first of all, she thinks that a bark off of a coconut tree is a dead dog, and she almost has a panic attack. He's like, calm down. And they get to a lawyer's office or somebody, and they start to talk to that person about her being able to get a working visa. That person is like, are you guys getting married? And they're like, no, want to do partnership. And then that person is like, oh, so you need to go home then, because while you're getting the paperwork done for the partnership, you should not be here because you don't have the proper visa. And she's like, oh. And he's like, yeah. And so she's like, they're like, how long is that going to take? And it's going to take about 8 months. And she's like, we're not going to last long distance. I said, for 8 months, y'all not going to last long distance? And because she's nervous that he's going to cheat on her. I said, it's just 8 months. You're not going to survive it? So then it's a lot easier, the process, if they get married. And they're both like, we're not ready for marriage or whatever. And the partnership costs $300. And then it's going to be 5 months, but you need to stay in the US. And it could be potentially 8 months. And she's like, we're not going to last. I was like, well, then you shouldn't be together. So then they get this news, and they both think it's, they're like, wow, it's not as easy. And I said to myself, Miss Ma'am, do you know what it takes for someone from another country to come to the US and just start working? Like, is it because Aruba is a small little island that you think that they just be backwards and just be doing whatever? They still a whole governing nation backed by a bigger colonizing country of Belgium. Is it Belgium? Where is Belgium? I know it's in Europe. I know that. But I'm like, in my mind, Belgium is somewhere next to Sweden and Finland. And I know that's not true. That's Denmark up there. So is Belgium next to France? I think it is. Is it like, a little French, German area? Like Luxembourg? Anyways, sorry, mine went off. So what did she think she was going to do? She thought she was going to come to this little Commonwealth and just do whatever she wanted to do? God, I'm going to tell you, the hubris of us Americans. We be out here in this world just moving about doing whatever. Could you imagine if I was just like, oh, I'm going to go to Belize and work? Belizeans are like, excuse me, miss. Excuse me, miss. I need your documents. And I'm like, what documents? I'm American. Here's my passport. Figure it out. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. So anyways, she's like, I can't tell my mom because my mom's going to be like, haha, I told you so. But I'm like, the bigger issue is that you feel like you can't be away from him for 8 months so that you can get the proper paperwork so y'all could be together. That's the bigger issue. Because I'm like, don't you have the money to fly back and forth? Like, don't you have the freedom of like familial nepotism and the freedom of working for your mom? I don't know what exactly her mom does, but in my mind, she could be there for 2 months, work for her mom, go back and stay 2 weeks with him, come back and do whatever until she's like back and forth and like make it work. I don't know. But anyways, so they go to dinner and she's like, wow, it's going to be 8 months while we figure this out. And he's like, I could take care of you, but I cannot uphold your standards of beauty and maintenance. So you would have to like take them red nails off, let them roots grow in. And then like we could do it. You would have to, and she's like, I think I can do it. Again, no, if you're used to spending money, it is very difficult to pull back. It is very difficult to do so. So she's like, yeah, no, I can do that. And he's like, listen. She's like, well, what about getting married? And he's like, girl, I'm ready to get married, but I don't know if you're ready to get married. I'm at the age now where I'm ready to settle down. She's like, it's not about an age. Like, it's not. And I'm like, you heard that man say that he feels that the deadline for him to get married is within the next couple years. So it's not about you, babes. It's about what he wants to do in his life. And studies have shown that men prosper when they get married. It's women who suffer in a marriage because of all that they're expected to give out. Now, I imagine if you're in a good marriage, an equal partnership, then yeah, you're fine. If he understands that he could wash a dish and vacuum a floor too, then you're fine. But a lot of men are like, I can live in a dirty little crevicey hovel. Like they weaponize their incompetence. They're like, oh, I don't do inside housework. I only do outside housework. Like all that kind of stuff, right? And it happens. That is a lot of times if the men are not trained from a young age to keep their room clean and wash their dishes and do certain things, then like women are usually socialized to do these things. Now, not all of them, because they be some dirty ass women too, but when you're in a marriage, some people are like, well, I pay majority of the bills, I can just chill. No. If I see the spot on the wall, you better see the spot on the wall. And we both better care about that spot on the wall, or I'm gonna be pissed. Because I can't be paying attention to everything. Because at some point, if you don't care, I don't care. And I'm gonna move out when the house gets dirty enough. I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna leave every dish in the sink and I'm gonna get me a new lease. And you can come visit me. So, anyways, she's like, well, I'm ready to get married. And I said, girl, you live on a coast. The only women at 23 who are like, I'm ready to get married and probably truly mean it are in the middle of this country with no other options. You go get your hair done, your nails done, you get tanned, you do all this stuff. She's like, I still want to have my martini nights. 23? You've been only legally able to drink for 2 years and you have martini nights? Martinis are a big girl drink. That's a Sex in the City beverage. A martini? What are you talking about? You're drinking martinis at 23 and not like vodka Red Bull? Girl, you are not ready. You are not ready. I'm not going to sit here and listen to a 23-year-old tell me that she's ready for marriage and she don't live on a farm. You are not ready for marriage. No, don't do it. You are not prepared for that. And he's like, I've been in a long-term relationship. She's like, well, because of my affluence, I've done a lot in my life. I've been a cheerleader. I have gone to Aruba at least 10 times. I have traveled the world. I think that I'm done. I'm like, girl, you have 50 more years of life ahead of you. You cannot settle with this pirate in Aruba. Give yourself 10 years. If at 33, you guys are still doing well, then you marry that man. He's fine until 43. You don't need to get married now. He can't afford you. It is. It's too much. It's too much. I don't want to watch these people. I don't want it. She might sacrifice the nails, but she's not letting those roots grow out. They gotta fry them with bleach. Maybe she wants a wedding, unless she also wants kid now, which is like, why exactly? I still have my martini nights. Girl, if you don't sit down with your martini nights, get you a natty ice or a Bud Light and lay down somewhere. He literally had to stop her from touching that cactus on the way to the lawyer. She is a child. Exactly. Oh, I was right. Belgium is between France and Germany. French is spoken there. I was right. I knew it. I was like, there's chocolate. There's French. Not just that. People from these countries find it hard to find work. Work can be scarce. Documents are not. Girl, it's too much. Speaking of too much, let's move on to Greta and Matthew. Greta's gonna. Okay, so remember how last episode I was like, how long has it been? Has it been weeks since she's been there? And that's why she knows it's not gonna work? Then maybe take my glasses off again. It's been 4 days since she took her stinking butt off that train. And she gonna tell that man, I don't think I love you anymore. And he gonna say, we have not spent any time without the cameras. And she's like, it doesn't matter. For the last 6 months, I have not felt attached to you, and I just knew I had to come here and see it through. And I've been here for 4 days, and I've been like, "Yeah, no." And he's like, "Let's just back it up then. Let's back it up. We don't have to talk about kids. We don't have to talk about marriage. Let's just like get to know each other." And she's like, "It's not fair for me to force myself to love you. I just have so much doubt. And I know that I just need to be alone." And I said, "Well, girl, take time alone. Like, tell him I need a little staycation. It's been 4 days. You're getting on my nerves. I gotta go." I mean, they went to the spa, they looked at a house, and they went apple picking. And she's like, "I'm out. I'm out." And he's like, "What?" And he says, "You don't just suddenly stop loving somebody." So it's crazy because I had no idea that she was backsliding like this. And I think to myself, because I know that when I'm in love, that it's really difficult to pull back. So I'm like, were you ever in love with him? Or were you just in love with the idea of being with Mr. Darcy? He's like, "What do we do now?" And she's like, "I'm gonna go and we're just gonna move on because we have so much life ahead of us." I I wanted to pull my hand through the screen and grab her for Matthew. I know Matthew can't put hands on her, but I'll fight her. I fight Greta. I feel very strongly about what she's doing. I feel very strongly about what she's doing. Marsha, you might be absolutely correct. Whatever happened, whatever the ick was, it hit her so hard that all of her love just like vomited out of her in one motion. And it's happened to me. I've gotten the ick where I'm like, "Oh, I can't. You're gross." I got the ick because I went on a date with somebody who I had been like infatuated for so long. We used to work together, and we worked together 10 years prior. And while we worked together, we had like the best little non-sexual romance ever. Everyone at our job knew. They were like, "Nah, this person and Wah, they love each other," but he was in a relationship. So we never did anything. We just were friends that used to chat constantly chatting, but like, great. Finally, 10 years later, with the same woman, they're poly, open relationship. I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're still with what's her face?" And he's like, "Yeah, and I have a girlfriend too." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've also told her about you. She's known about you since the beginning." Blah, 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 blah. I was like, so, anyways, we go on a date. This has been 10 years in the making. And this man touches a door handle, goes in, sits down. We're eating. He belches. He licks his fingers because we're eating tacos. He licks his fingers. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I was so mad at him because I was like, this has been building up for so long. And you touched that door handle, did not go wash your hand, belched, and licked your fingers after the tacos. So, like, I couldn't do it because I was like, you are disgusting. Your mouth is riddled with germs. I can't, no. No. I don't remember you being this disgusting. I could not. So, no kisses. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So, I'm like, disgusting. So disgusting. So maybe she got the ick. Because she was like, "I think we both can move on with our lives." Gato, if you don't leave me alone. he should have remained being just a work husband. we hadn't talked to each other in 10 years. So like it had been a minute. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Go wash your hands. You just touched a door handle that everybody in Los Angeles has been touching. Go wash your hands. Licking on his disgusting. Anyways, so I next episode we see that Matthew's gonna try to get his dad to go talk to Greta. I'm like, Matthew, you better than me. You better than me, Matthew. You can't look at me and tell me that you're not in love with me after 4 days. And I'm like, go on ahead and get yourself on then. And I'm like, so what are you about to do, miss? What's the game plan? What's the action, Jackson? Greta and Matthew. Greta and Matthew. Whew. Y'all. Who knows what's going to happen next episode? I was like, Greta got problems. And her homegirl was like, yeah, you shouldn't settle with fine. I'm like, you should settle with Matthew, though. I think that he's more than fine. I think that he just wasn't tracking that you weren't feeling him anymore. You just need to let the love happen again. You need to remember why you loved him. But cutting it off after 4 days is crazy work. All right, you guys, that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for joining. Next week, we're going to have Madeline and Luke, which looks like they're having a pregnancy scare. And we are going to have... Who are we missing? Jenny and Sumit. Jenny can't count money. Jenny about to get on my nerves. Jenny about to get on my nerves. She don't know how to count money? Go ahead and stay home. Go on ahead. Your expiration is showing. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Come back in about 40 minutes. We are going to talk the new season of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. I've got a lot of opinions about that. It's going to be a hee-haw good time. If you had the hee-haw house of watching this, you want to give your girl a tip, you can do so with the options down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in about 40 minutes, okay? And let's chat about something new. Go on ahead, get home, get yourself a meal, have a beverage, relax, and I'll talk to you later. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Everybody, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line, rock your body on time.